pessimism is not one of those, I've not developed a tremendous theory on pessimism because I actually am an optimist. And so it seems to me that pessimism, which is just the opposite of optimism, and anytime there's an opposite, if one's a spiritual person, the spiritual truth is God is one. God is one is a way of saying everything is one. So then I have to ask myself, pessimism and optimism are simply two aspects, normal aspects of the human experience. Pessimism is when I've probably lost a bit too much hope. Optimism is probably a moment in which I have a little bit too much hope. Now it turns out it feels better to have a little too much hope. But here's the truth about optimism. 100% absolute clear truth about optimism. An optimistic person will at some point feel pessimistic. Because if you have too much hope, your hope is going to be dashed at least a little bit. And at that moment, you will have at least a vein of pessimism. Now, it turns out if you're a pessimistic person, and we're not talking about clinically depressed people or manic depressive people, if you're pessimistic, it means that for some set of reasons, you have a little less hope than you probably actually should have, or a little less hope than actually is called for by your own circumstance. And it'll turn out that little less hope, here's what you have to do. You have to say, let's not concentrate on what I have a little less hope about. Where is there any little bit, it could be just like the one candle of Hanukkah, where is there a little hope that I could nurture and kind of fan so that I can actually be in the dance between hope and a little hopelessness, a little too much hope, a little less hope, because there's no perfect balance. There's knowing oneself enough to say, here's where I am. I'm really exuberant now. We were exuberant the last 2 years, as a country, as individuals who are showing increased values in everything in our portfolios. It turns out, and we were so optimistic, right? It turned out optimism very often is a false hope, but pessimism very often is a false hopelessness. And so the real issue is to just ask ourselves, why am I pessimistic now? What's it really about? And then, where is there real hope? The real hope. The real hope. And if I'm optimistic and I find myself carried away in optimism, it's very important for me to look around and say, where are there some reasons for me actually to not be quite as hopeful as I am now?